Yo, ladies, this is Alex from My for Attraction 2.0, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about why you keep attracting the wrong relationships, why you keep attracting the wrong guys, right? And I blame society on this one. I blame society big time because, for the most part, a lot of the reasons why a lot of women aren't happy in many relationships is because of the unrealistic expectations you guys have about romance, right? For the most part, the gender role that we have, the gender that we have for the roles that we have for women is that there is a little fantasy out there that says when you find the right guy, when you find Alex, when you find the right guy, you're going to be happy, at peace forever, right? And so that's an issue because that fantasy tells you that there is something as the perfect relationship. There is a perfect guy out there for you. And you know what happens? Is that no matter how good your relationship is, you're going to base your current relationship based on this unrealistic expectation. What does that mean? That means you're going to inevitably be disappointed. You're going to inevitably find a reason to be unhappy in a relationship. And for the most part, it's because you've been conditioned to believe that in order for you to find happiness, you need to find a relationship. And it's something that's very dangerous that comes when you equate having a relationship with happiness. You approach relationships with more intensity. Everything that happens matters more, and it's more difficult for you to let go of the things that happen. Why is this a problem? Simple. Because you're not able to be yourself in a relationship. You think you found the right relationship, and suddenly, because you think you found the right relationship, you're trying to try your best to keep the relationship. That even comes into play, that manifests itself when you capitulate to your own standards to meet the other person's standards because you want to keep this fantasy going. This fantasy that you have is all self-created and mind-made. And so what tends to happen is that it creates unhappiness because you are constantly resisting the present moment. You're noticing that there are signs that the relationship might end and that the guy's bad for you. And because you want to maintain this fantasy for your own sake and to maintain impressions, that you allow yourself to be unhappy in it. And what tends to happen is that when you give your time to a guy that doesn't appreciate you, you're stripping away the time from guys who will potentially appreciate you. And this is kind of sad because a lot of women are not desperately trying to find someone, but desperately trying to find happiness. It just happens to manifest itself through wanting a relationship. So something that I always tell people is that when you find yourself trying to find happiness in relationships, the best thing to do is not to try harder, but to literally stop. Allow yourself to experience that one thing that you're trying to avoid, which is the loneliness. Allow yourself to experience the pain of being alone. Allow yourself to experience what it is to not have your fantasy fulfilled. Because what tends to happen is that when you're trying to live a fantasy, you end up unhappy because this fantasy is what it is, an unrealistic fantasy. You're constantly going to be resistant, constantly comparing your relationship to other apparently better relationships. And so you're going to be measuring your life, your standards, the current life situation on an unrealistic standard. And happiness is a function of expectations. And when your expectations are too high, your happiness level is going to be very low because you're constantly resisting. This will also cause you to look through the red flags that guys put out there. You see that he has a certain temper. You see that he has a certain quality trait that you find repulsive. But you forgive him for that. You suppress it. And you say you're a good person. And you don't do nothing about it. You see those negative signs. He's very flirtatious. And he's just doing things that is not right for a guy to do. But you just ignore it. You find a way to justify it. To back or rationalize your decision. And so that slowly eats away at you. Slowly that deteriorates your sense of self. Where you end up becoming a corpse that constantly needs to be revived through this person's validation. Because this person's validation is what keeps the fantasy alive. And the person knows that. And because he knows that he has your fantasy in his hand, it's very easy to manipulate you. Whenever somebody knows what you want in life and what you're afraid of, it's easy to manipulate you. So what you have to do is not try harder to find this fantasy. Is not try to find a new guy. Hey girl, looking cute. But to literally allow yourself to experience that which you are avoiding, whatever that is. Go inside yourself. Experience the pain fully. Be there. Don't touch it. Don't filter it. Don't try to justify it. Don't try to make yourself feel better. Because the truth is that it's not that you're trying to find someone. It's that you're trying to find yourself vicariously through somebody else. And a lot of women are in that trap. They want to find, they believe that having a relationship will make them happy. And when the relationship makes them unhappy, then they try to fix the relationship. and it's a pattern everyone goes through, because the fix, the quick fix that you get from, having an argument and then returning to the person, it feels good. You get a rush of dopamine and it feels very real. But like I always say, the cure becomes worse than the disease, wherein it does help you out, but it slowly eats at you, slowly corrodes you. So what you have to do is just step out of that pattern, break that pattern completely by becoming aware of your need to be happy through men. I know I talk about this often. I know I repeat almost the same thing. Somebody told me, they were like, stop talking about this subconscious crap, right? But it's necessary. If you haven't applied any of these things that I'm talking about, I'm going to keep repeating it over and over again. It's not about finding a guy. It's not about using tactics to make him want you, to make him chase, to make him desire you, to make him lust after you. It's about you finding happiness within yourself. You're better off. It's about you finding out that getting the guy doesn't make you happy. It just doesn't. It looks like it, right? But it doesn't. It's an unfulfilling thing. Now, it doesn't mean you cannot enjoy it. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy relationships, right? But just have that awareness that this is not going to make you happy. Because when you understand that it's not going to make you happy, then you go in it with less intensity, with less need for it to go right. And so you're not going to sabotage it as much as you would have sabotaged it if you saw this potential relationship as your source of happiness. So what can you do? Oh my God, Jesus Christ, this girl looks beautiful. So what can you do about that? Again, meditation works, right? Just begin meditating on a daily basis and become present. Become the space around your thoughts and emotions. Anytime you feel that need to find a guy, what I want you to do is not try to fulfill that need through thoughts and emotions. Promise yourself that that one day you'll find the right guy, because once again, you're in that same pattern. What I want you to do is allow those thoughts to arise, but take a step back and observe them. Feel as though you're listening to the radio of your mind. You just listen to the radio. Fuck. I cannot wait to find a relationship so I could be happy. Once I find Alex, I'll finally be happy. Just notice it. Or notice the physical sensation of your experience of loneliness and desire for a man. Just feel that emotion through writing down the physical sensation of that experience. Literally just slow down and slowly write down what physical aspect is there to this emotion of loneliness. Notice if there's any tension in your body. Notice where your awareness is. And the more you do this, the more you're going to create that space between yourself and your thoughts and emotions. And what's going to happen is that out of that is going to arise a natural desire for either a relationship or to be alone. But the desire is going to come from a place of presence, a place of spaciousness. It's not going to come from need to be happy. It's just going to come from, oh, I want a guy. That's cool. Like, I just want a guy. That's all that is. Because there's nothing wrong with wanting someone. But it's wrong when you're doing it because you believe this is going to make you happy. And if you don't do this, you're always going to end up finding relationships that are corrosive, because the needier you are, the more toxic relationships you're going to find and accept. The more fulfilled you are with your life through becoming your own source of positive emotions, the more fulfilling people you're going to invite in your life. It's not rocket science. It's simple. And I know I don't talk about sometimes, do this or do that, because I do talk about it. Watch my first couple videos. I do talk about this. But this is the real shit that really works. The shit that provides the biggest transformation out of all the things I talk about. Is using presence in every aspect of your life. Alright? I'm getting sleep right now. Gotta go out later on. Yes, man, that's how it is, dude. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. This is I'm coming from New York City Gay Parade. Right? Boo boo, right? So I hope you guys have a good day and enjoy. Bye bye.